Today is Wednesday, September 6th, and this week on NCR DC Communion, Batman is going up against Evil Batman and Injustice Gods Among Us. Wonder Woman is going AWOL. Red Hood and the Outlaws are going to the circus. The Fatal Five are going to all Ocean's 11 on Supergirl. Slade Wilson training a bunch of teenagers in Deathstroke. Join us for this and more this week on NCR DC Communion. All right, hello and welcome to DC Communion, NCR DC Communion episode number 20. I'm your host, Ben Dupay.
This is Noah O'Toole.
And I am Ariel Dupay.
And we are your DC comic book experts. So how's everyone doing this week?
Pretty good. Tired, staying busy, yeah. I don't know how I'm doing.
Yeah, school's back in session, and we are all college students here, so it's definitely, it's been interesting for sure. But yeah, so we're staying busy. It's nice out though, at least we have that. The weather's nice.
Yes, I have to admit I'm a fall fan.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh, man.
I don't like the winter that's coming, but there's something about fall television and a jacket, just a sweatshirt and shorts or whatever that's fun. So
hoodie weather, man. Yeah. That's what's up.
I wear a sweatshirt all year long, and this is the only season people don't judge me.
Yeah,
right.
You do wear a hoodie like it'll be like 100-degree weather. And you're in the car with a hoodie on. It's like,
right.
What the hell are you doing, Ariel? Like, I don't know. Yeah, it's crazy. So, lots of good things happening in DC Comics this week. We're kind of like catching up this week. We took a week off. We moved. We're here in a new studio with quotes aroround it, I guess. This is a studio. We have a 2-bedroom apartment now with an extra bedroom for recording in. So it's nice. It's a little small, but it's good to have.
It's a dedicated
space.
podcast.
Yeah, man, it works. So we'll get some posters up, DC Comics posters and stuff. But
maybe you can hang a disco ball.
Yeah, a disco ball. Yeah, make it like a cafe disco type thing.
You know what we should do? We should get a poster of different kinds of cereal. And just put it up there.
Yeah. Oh, for Brad?
Yeah.
Yeah, it would just be one giant Cheerios poster.
Yeah.
He's like, every week, it's like, I paired this with Cheerios.
Right.
Yeah, no, it's funny. All right, cool. So we are what are we, Noah?
A spoiler podcast. The
Also,
Stephanie Brown podcast. I missed the... Yeah.
And what do we talk about on this podcast?
DC Comics.
DC comic books, specifically weekly releases. Well, I guess on this show it's monthly releases.
Monthly, yeah.
But they come out every week is what I'm saying here. So
Potato.
yeah, whatever. So we do spoil the comic books though. So we put all the show notes down in the show notes area of the podcast. So when we go to talk about a certain book, we'll put the timestamp there. If you don't want it spoiled for you, just skip past that or hit the pause button, go read the comic book and come back. So what else? We do have a Patreon page where you can help donate to the podcast and keep us going. Sorry, I'm a little off my game this week. I haven't podcasted in like a week and a half now, and it's showing a little bit. So, we have a Patreon where you can donate to us. That's located at patreon.com/nerdchurchradio. And on that, we are actually going to start doing... like a bonus show every week for people, as much as we're able to. So we are going to try and do that more consistently for our Patreons. I think what we're going to do from now on is we're going to just only do the DC comic books in this show, and then we'll talk about movies and news and all that other nonsense on the post show. So if you want access to that, all you got to pay is $1 per month, and you get access to not one but 2 post shows per week, DC Mass and DC Communion. And then we get bored and whenever feel like doing another type of show where we talk about horror movies, or it won't always be exclusively DC Comics on that. So
we'll spend a whole show talking about our new cat.
Yeah, our new cat. We do have a new mascot for the podcast.
There you go.
We really wanted to name our cat Zombie. That was like something we really wanted to do, but she just didn't seem like a zombie, so we named her Charlie. So.
Oh, Charlie?
Yeah.
So I've been going around being like, Charlie, don't bite my finger.
Yeah, Charlie bit me.
It's a wonderful British accent from
Sorry
her.
for our British listeners.
Yeah. So she's and there's tons of jokes. It's like, sorry, Charlie, when she doesn't want food, or there's. I think Travis has a bunch of puns that go along with that. I'm sure we'll spend like an hour on the puns. So we do have a website where you can read written reviews that Noah and Ariel mostly write. I jump on there sometimes, but no guarantees on how consistently we're posting reviews with the school semester, and we're all about to graduate in the next year and a half. So yeah, but we do have written reviews that we write semi-consistently. You can find that at nerdchurchradio.com. So with that, why don't we just jump into some books? All right, so this week, I guess we didn't go over in order yet. Oh, well. Well, this week we're going to do something different. I'm going to let Noah go first. Noah, you want to talk about Red Hood and the Outlaws #1 for us?
All right, yeah. The Red Hood and the Outlaws Annual came out. It's called Big Tent, Bigger Dreams. Step right up, ladies and gentlemen. Come one, come all, to the most spectacular show on Earth. Talent from all across the globe under one tent. Marvel at the masked marksman. His aim is true as he maneuvers his motorcycle through flaming hoops of fire. Be amazed at the arching Amazon Artemis. Watch as she rides untamed equines into the center ring and impress you with her amazing archery skills. And be bewildered at the bulking behemoth Bizarro. Beware as a half-man, half-monster can't be held by mere chains. And now, the Gotham City Circus proudly presents our main attraction. You may recognize him as a former member of the Flying Graysons, may they rest in peace, who has now rebranded himself as the world's clowniest clown, Flippy Flop.
All right.
Watch as he balances on bowling pins, all while pouring a nice glass of Merlot with his feet.
This was the best. Why make him Flippy Flop the clown?
Right,
I don't know. This is just so fantastic. Yeah.
All these circus performers and more await you at the Gotham City Circus. The international terrorist and man of many explosions, KG Beast, now just Beast, has been spotted in the area, and our big top superstars are always looking to make this show a blast like no other.
I think Marvel might have a bone to pick there
with KG Beast.
With Beast,
yeah. Right? Yeah.
Is he just Beast, or is he Beast Boy in the X-Men, or the blue furry guy?
He's just Beast.
He's Beast. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Beast,
sure.
Yeah, he was KG Beast, but now he no longer has ties to Mother Russia.
Yeah,
and has dropped the KG, and he's just Beast.
Okay, sure.
Action, adventure, and even romance awaits you when you join Red Hood and the Outlaws under the big top in this amazing annual adventure.
Beautiful.
So I pretty much loved it. It was a ton of fun. The art was different. We had Tyler Kirkham on art, so it was still a very detailed art, but it gave a nice, just different feel to the book. For once, it was a lot softer, right? But still just as much detail.
That first double splash page of all the explosions. I mean, I feel like this was just like the Expendables meets right. Red Hood and the Outlaws. There's just tons of explosions.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was good. Meets the circus.
Yeah.
So
I loved they explored a lot of the Dick and Jason relationship. I got a kick out of them wrestling in their underwear over whose bedroom or whose bed it was, and Alfred trying to
that was fantastic. That was really fun.
And I of course got a kick out of KG Beast trying to be all deep and anti-nationalist or whatever, and encouraging Artemis not to abandon her Amazon tribe and be independent. And okay, dude. Yep. But I think my favorite part was that Bizarro met a girl. He falls in love with the ringmaster's daughter, who's the bearded lady. And at the end, Jason asks Bizarro if he got her number, and he says yes. 8.
I love it.
Yeah, so we'll have to give Bizarro a little lesson on flirting. But
what was he talking about? 8. I don't know what he means by that.
Or her phone number. Did he get her phone number?
No. But what do you mean by 8? Like,
I think she probably told him my number is 8.
Oh, okay.
You know how you give a fake number to guys you don't really want to talk to?
I don't think she gave him a fake number. I just think Bizarro.
Just
get it, you know what I mean? Like, doesn't getting a number. I mean, doesn't
I don't know.
What that
maybe that's like her Carney order or whatever. That's the order she goes on stage as number 8
that
or
could
something.
Be too. Yeah, I don't know.
So that was great though, man. See, and I love the part where like even when Dick Grayson's walking in and like they're just chilling in a camper and like he's like making beans. He's like, beans, I'm good. And it's just so great.
I dug the camaraderie between. I mean, they've always had a good camaraderie, but like seeing them sharing, a circus trailer thing and living the carny life and stuff like that. Because I could see them doing that. You know what I mean? That's just their shtick, and they're kind of undercut. And even Artemis, I like she's fitting right in with them. So
I think my favorite part was Bizarro calls Grayson. He calls him Dick Man.
Yeah,
that was the funniest part to me.
It was cute to see Jason get a little jealous.
Yeah.
That Artemis is like
Yeah.
hanging out with Nightwing.
Yep.
I still don't know if Artemis will ever become an item with someone or not. They kind of tease it a little bit or whatever, but I just don't see her as the relationship type. You know?
I don't either.
I see
Especially
her
with Jason. I can't imagine her.
No,
putting
not
up
at
Yeah, I
all.
don't think her
No.
and Jason would.
No, I just see them as good friends,
Yeah.
and
Right,
that's
right.
what makes it so great.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's totally platonic, which makes it.
yeah,
than-
yeah, totally, yeah. So it was a great book, though, man. I really all 40 pages of it. I mean, I normally don't like these oversized issues, but this was just so funny, like seeing Bizarro fall in love and stuff.
Did you catch a part where Artemis puts on her lipstick and the next panel is like Bizarro holding the lipstick smiling like curiously?
Yeah.
That was so great.
That's awesome. Yeah, do you think we've seen the last of KG Beast?
Oh, for a while.
For a while?
Yeah, he's kind of one of those characters I think they plucked to, use in a big splash scene, and I think he'll probably go back into D-list status
He's
for a
big.
little while, but
I don't know if there's an editorial error here or not, but it says see Detective Comics Rebirth for KG Beast.
Yeah.
But he was in All-Star Batman. I don't remember seeing him in Detective Comics.
I don't either. I don't
So,
remember.
yeah, I don't know. But anyway, cool. So we do have a rating system here where we like to rate and review our comic books. I'll play that rating system so you know what we're talking about.
If a comic book is bad, we rate it as blasphemy. If the book is good, we give our blessing. If the book is not bad, not good, but just kind of meh, we rate it as stuck in purgatory. If the book is great, we rate it as holy. And if a comic book exceeds all standards of awesomeness, we rate that book as salvation.
All right. So what do you think, Noah?
Definitely Holy.
Holy?
Yep, loved it.
Yeah. I don't think it was a perfect book by
Right.
any means, but I think it's fantastic. And honestly, man, I think almost every issue of Red Hood and the Outlaws has either been Holy or Salvation.
Yep.
I mean,
I've been actually thinking about this just this weekend, and I've definitely come to the conclusion that despite how good Rucka's run on Wonder Woman is, and seeing what it is now,
Yeah.
it's still okay, but then notwithstanding, Red Hood and the Outlaws is my favorite book.
out of Rebirth as
Out
a
of
whole.
Rebirth,
Yeah,
just
I
as
think
a whole, without a doubt.
I gotta say, I think that's pretty damn close. I
Yeah.
think Sam Humphrey's Green Lantern is pretty close for me too. I think he's done a bang up job on that one. But Red Hood and the Outlaws is just like I always read it first.
Yep.
It's one of the first books
There's
I always
not been
pick up.
a bad issue.
There hasn't like
Or
I
even
can't
a dull issue,
I
I
can't
mean.
think of one even blessing issue. You know,
Right.
like I what would you rate this one, Ariel?
Oh, holy.
Holy. Awesome. So we're pretty consistent on that one. All right, cool. Well, we will move things on then to Injustice 2 number 9. So on this one, I picked this up, and I haven't actually been keeping up with this fully, but Ariel kind of sat next to me while I was reading it and filled me in on things. So forgive me if I get some things wrong. You guys will have to correct me. But so this book starts out with Batman, Steel, Aqualad, and Black Lightning in Washington, D.C., trying to protect the President of the United States from a possible attack from Ra's al Ghul. And then Batman and Black Lightning tell Aqualad and Steel just to hang out there, guard the president. They have some super secret mission that they need to go take care of. So meanwhile, Babs, Black Canary, and Ollie are just hanging out in space up above the rainforest, which was the last place they found Connor's tracking signal, because Connor was kidnapped by Ra's al Ghul as well. So Babs hang glides down to check things out from space using Plastic Man and his son as a hang glider, which the hilarity there is just endless. They get down there and find a bunch of ninjas to take out. All this time, Animal Man is hanging out inside the place where they're landing. It's some weird like animal collective, which I love the fact that I just use that term because it's a
Yeah.
band I really like too. But Animal Man's hanging out with Damian and all the people they've kidnapped to stop Batman. Batman, and we're talking about good Batman. Batman and his crew teleport down to Babs and the others, and they all rush into the animal collective. Then El Diablo seals off the entrance, and it's a cage match to the death between Batman and his crew and, well, Batman and his crew. So it's going to be interesting to see how that unfolds. But this book is fantastic. I love the artwork. I think who's the writer on this one?
Tom Taylor.
Tom Taylor. I really think he should be the one writing Justice League. And I've said that a bunch of times.
Right.
I've heard it said a lot, but it's just such a fun read, man. I really enjoyed it. So what did you guys think about this one?
Oh my gosh, I freaking love this book. It's like one of my favorites. And it was really cool because when you think of Ra's al Ghul, you always think like bad guy, just automatically. But when Animal Man, wait, what was his name again? Yeah,
Animal Man.
Yeah, sorry. When he was kind of talking about it, he shares the same ideals as Ra's al Ghul, but he's a little bit more calm when he talks about it. It's like, yeah, I get it. Like, I get why humanity is bad. I mean, obviously you can't kill it off, but I can understand why people in Ra's al Ghul like wants to save the earth. So it was kind of cool to get a different perspective.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I really liked it too. I, as you know, normally it isn't one of my favorites just because it has there's no consequences because it's not real type thing to me. But the alternate view of the DC Universe characters is always refreshing, and they sure ramped up the hilarity and action in this one. So.
Yeah, I mean, totally. I'm all about, making us feel connected to villains. I think, like, a villain is always a hero in their own minds, and I've said that before. But, you always want to know their story and what's motivating their actions and stuff like that. And that's really fun to me to see that unfold. I love the part where, the backstory they're telling with him is how, he was trying to save the last of a species of a rhino on Earth. And he found it, but it had already been shot by poachers. So he goes and tracks these poachers down, and the Animal Man can turn into an animal. He's kind of like Vixen,
right?
Except more literal. He
right.
can actually. So he thinks of a leech. He finds leeches nearby, and he actually turns that freaked me out, man. When he turned into a leech and just attacks them, like his head just straight out of like a sci-fi horror novel or something. But it was hilarious. So.
When Plastic Man turned into the glider, and you just see his face I was in tears laughing. Oh my gosh.
Man, I love Plastic Man. I'm so excited to see him come back into Dark Knight's Metal and stuff because he's such a fun aspect. Yeah. I really want to see him in the movies someday too. I think that would be a lot of fun. I think that's hard to pull off with CGI and stuff though.
Speaking of Injustice, so I would have loved to see him as a playable character. I thought he would have just been a great addition to that game. Man. I think he was kind of on their short list but didn't make the cut. But
he's not very popular, is he?
He's always been like a B-list character, I think.
But he's been around since the 30s. I mean, like in Police Comics #1, way back. Yeah. In the early Superman days, so.
He's like a novelty.
Right. That's a good.
Yeah, he is. But I mean, like all the characters are novel. I mean, we're in superhero comics, so I mean, they all have like novelty.
He's just
powers.
a little extra novel with his
very
sunglasses and deep V.
When he's like
short shorts
deep
and whatever.
Yeah, that's I think that's my favorite part is his outfit. It's just so great.
I love when he's like, "Stop screaming! Ninjas are supposed to be quiet."
He's
just hilarious.
He kind of pulled a little clay face. I think that was his son actually, but his son pulled a little clay face action.
Right.
He impersonated the ninjas, and then he's like, "I don't really know what to say here, so I'm just gonna beat the crap out of all of you." So it was fun. But I gave this one a holy 2, man. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a great book, and honestly, I jumped right into this one without very many issues trying to pick up on it. So I think it's a lot of fun, and I think if you want to jump right into it, you're probably okay to jump back into our history of episodes and listen to our recaps of it, and we'll catch you up on it a little bit. So what would you guys rate this one?
Yeah, I'm the same. I gave it a holy.
Holy, definitely.
Awesome, good deal. All right, well, we will move things on to our next book of the week, and that is Deathstroke number 23.
Which I went into with a more open mind. I just want to put that out there.
Okay.
So we begin with a flashback in a river in East Africa where Slade is on a mission. This is Deathstroke back when he was bad. The two men escorting him fear for their lives and their families' lives because they gave Slade transportation to the man he's going to kill, a man their leader swore to protect. Slade shows them a crumbled piece of paper and informs them that he will keep them and their families safe from Jaziki. I love that Slade just has contracts on him.
Right.
Like, here's a contract. Here's a contract.
It's just like
he's like Oprah.
Day-to-day act. Yeah. He's like Oprah with the contract.
I just imagine him like reaching into his like suit, like.
Yeah. Got a whole stack of these in my breast pocket here. And just. a filing cabinet of contracts, death contract. All right, sorry, I'm done.
He has to have a pen too, you would think.
Yeah,
Right.
It's deadly. I'm sure he can kill like 20 people with that pen.
Yeah.
He's like John Wick with
Yeah.
the pencil. Yeah.
Anyway, insert to present time where Slade is training the team in weaponry.
Weaponry.
That word.
That thing right there.
Yeah. He informs Wally that he could be the most dangerous man on the planet if he so wished. Then Slade turns his attention to his daughter. In 2 pages of black and white popping in front of brightly colored black back splashes. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
Slade and Rose engage in a fight. Then suddenly Slade slumps to his knees as Rose's sword is able to impenetrate his unimpenetrable icon suit.
Not so unimpenetrable, huh, Slade?
Yeah.
I was thinking, every time I hear the word penetrate, I'm like, is it a good time to use that word?
That's perfect. No, good enough reason to use the word penetrate.
Yeah.
The untouchable word.
There's no way around it in this one, I don't think.
We then learn that Rose's sword has some possible time-traveling origin. An origin I'm sure the scientific mind of Power Girl will be able to figure out. One of the things I really loved about this issue is the side characters are starting to get fleshed out. Mm-hmm. We start to see how smart Power Girl is, and I think she's going to bring a lot to the table. So elsewhere in the streets of Chinatown, Claire, which I can't really remember where she is, but I think we've seen her before. Do you guys remember her?
Is she the redheaded?
No. That's Willow.
That's Willow.
Claire was a girl that was like petting Willow.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Anyway, Claire is asking people on the street about a symbol she has found. She heads home to Willow, a girl I'm really excited to see again. She's really interesting, and I can't wait to see like what her origin story is. Mm-hmm. There's speculation on the internet that she was an assassin that like escaped. So a quick insert of Jericho talking to his mother. It is implied that he thinks she may have been a part of his fiance's death, which originally he thought Slade was responsible. So hopefully we'll figure out who killed his fiance. In the twisted family dynamic, Priest does a really great job of showing the turmoil between mother and son, but still show the undertone of love that is still there, because in the end it's family. And I think we all understand that concept really well.
Yeah, totally. And I know Priest is really, like, I've heard a lot of people say about Deathstroke that it's very much like he plays the long game. Like, there were a lot of people who really didn't like it when Rebirth started, but then it kind of came together later, and they're like, oh, everything's kind of making sense now, and, like, all that stuff that happened way back when kind of meant something, and I understand now. So I think I've heard he's really good about that with his characters and fleshing them out and stuff like that,
So the team finally heads out on a mission, and I'm finally getting the group dynamic I've been really wanting. The team is starting to blend their strengths together and are actually able to work together well. And as they should, they question Slade's reasoning for this mission, since all his acts of heroism are heavily cloaked in his personal agenda. So of course we find out that the pirates of the ship are actually Jaziki's men from the beginning of this book. And he wants to kill him. You can tell he wants to kill him, but instead he sends him to jail. Will Slade be able to fight his inner demons, or is his soul too corrupted to ever truly be changed? Last but not least, we see a ninja draped in black and gold looking for Claire, which also leads to Willow. I thought this was fantastic. I've been saying this whole time, I really want the team fleshed out. These side characters are some of the best parts of the new Team Defiance. And seeing them, like Jericho doing that mind thing and kind of taking on the role leader. I'm so sorry, my mind's like kind of...
you're good.
And then Power Girl bringing her like smartness, and then the sword. Yeah, speaking of the long game, like I don't know if did you guys read this?
Oh yeah,
I did. Yeah.
Rose's sword was also by Willow's head at the end of the book. Did you notice that?
I guess I didn't quite catch that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I see that. Yep.
So the sword is Power Girl thinks that the sword is actually from the future, and that it was sent in the past for Rose. But the very end, the very last panel is Willow sleeping, and the sword is next to her.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So I would love for a listener to explain that to me if I don't know, like, because I don't really know who Willow is. I don't know if she's been around long, but it was a really great read. I gave it a salvation.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
really?
I really
that
liked
good.
it.
Okay, cool. What would you grade it?
I actually gave it a holy. I
Okay.
didn't think it was yours, but I was actually greatly that scene alone where they saved that ship, from sinking, and Power Girls grew so big, and she's trying to hold it while they're all tears down underwater with the rocks, and Rose is trying to rescue Jericho's body because he goes unconscious, and all this. And that was just like a ton of fun. But I can't help but just, I didn't really like when he got pierced by the sword and stuff. It just got, well, one, I think they literally, when Rose and him fought, they literally just spelled out the entire previous plot line to you. I mean, it was that was, on the nose.
That was kind of some fan service.
Insert what do you call it?
And there was little editor's notes all over that. I think I count 5 that were issue 9, issue 6, issue 14.
Right.
I mean,
insert backstory here. It's just
as someone who's just kind of jumping into this cold, I'm okay with that. But
it does inform, but it's just so blunt. You know what I mean?
It's pretty heavy-handed.
Right. And then the other thing, I gotta say, I didn't like all the overly scientific talk. It just seemed
really
too much for me. The sword's got anti-gravity capabilities, which are able to penetrate there's that word again. The something or another fancy word for your fancy suit with this fancy thing, and it's just we get it. You're very scientifically advanced. I don't know. It just was a little overkill for me, but I still gave it a holy. That's cool. It was really good.
As someone who I don't really know Power Girl at all, so for me that was getting insight into her and her mind, and knowing that she knows all these terms and stuff gives me really a good idea about who she is. Even when she's holding the bow, she's just because I'm big I can't lift it, it needs to be perfectly stable,
it'll break.
And I was wow, she's really intelligent and has a contingency plan. So
cool. Well, I think I'm at I don't know, man. I'm not even going to rate it yet because I am looking into going back and getting the older volumes of this because I have a few of them, but I really want to start from the beginning. No promises. It could take me a month or two to get totally caught up, but I do think that this is a story, if you're wanting to go out and read this, start from the beginning. I really don't think it's something that's intended to be jumped into cold like that. So, all right, cool. So we will we'll move things on to our next book of the week, which is Wonder Woman number 29.
This one's called Heart of the Amazon Part 4. This issue picks up with Diana and Etta fighting off the gang of bounty hunters who are after the price tag on Wonder Woman's head. An interesting array of assassins have gathered to hunt Diana, including Cheshire, who created an Amazon-strength sedative to dip her talons in, Aboleth, a new genetically enhanced super soldier, Bondo, a young martial arts warrior who recites the art of war, Plastique, a demolitions expert terrorist with explosive powers and familiar to readers and viewers of The Flash, and the one that I found most interesting is Cat Eye, an incarnation of the Egyptian goddess Bastet, and she's dressed as a wrinkly sphinx cat who shoots laser beams out of her eyes. And I just thought that was really crazy.
Got a little Catwoman movie action going on
right,
here.
A little bit, yeah. Because the first thing, she almost looked like she was a white tiger-striped cat, but then as I read this one and she got the Egyptian Bastet thing, I was like, oh my god, she's one of those wrinkly sphinx cats. I love it. But anyway, Wonder Woman and Etta are able to dispatch the assassins, which we knew they would, and Diana uses the lasso on Plastique to get more information about who ordered the hit. It turns out a pharmaceutical company wants Diana's DNA to create a wonder drug based on her powers. After some quiet reflection with her patron gods, Wonder Woman has come to the conclusion that she will put an end to this by collecting the bounty by turning herself in willingly. If her blood could save millions, then she owes it to the world and herself to find out more. Renowned geneticist Hamilton Revere is the man behind the bounty. When Wonder Woman warns him that her government knows she's there, he responds by saying, "Look around you. We are the government." And next, it's going AWOL.
I enjoyed parts of this issue, and there are other parts that I didn't enjoy. There was one part that really bugged me at the beginning, and it was Shea Fontana wrote a one-off issue of Justice League a while back,
right?
And in it, Wonder Woman didn't know how to high five because of our customs.
Oh, right.
And then at the very beginning of this book, she's talking about social media comments,
right?
And it's like, wait, hold on. You don't know how to high five, but you're on Facebook, or whatever. I don't know. Yeah. It was just, anyway, that was just a little bit of social commentary that I think maybe, I don't know if it totally fit in with the story or whatever.
Yeah.
But overall, they did address the Etta Candy.
It did address that. So my first note was it finally addressed Diana and Etta's reconciling. So
I think she probably heard some feedback about that.
It makes me wonder, but yeah.
And then she's like, okay, I got to put something in here.
I got to say something about it. And I like that she has put Diana in this moral position where there's not exactly a right or wrong thing with this, gene and all that stuff. It's just a very ambiguous area. And it's I like seeing her in a position to have to make a hard decision based on the greater good of humanity, and I think that's what she's trying to show she's struggling with. But I also disliked what you mentioned about that social media thing, and I disliked how focused she was on flesh. She just used the word flesh too much, and people are always after my flesh, and now they want my blood, and then it's like, it just comes off a little.
And it seems like almost like there's two people talking when Wonder Woman talks. Like you can hear clearly Wonder Woman's voice, and then you can also hear Shea Fontana's voice.
Right.
And it's like, this isn't Wonder Woman saying, she wouldn't say these things. This is the author saying these things and kind of commenting on everything. And it's just not blended very well with the character, I don't think. So.
And when it comes to rating, it made it kind of tough because this had good elements about it, but it also had not good elements about it. And I definitely didn't think it was bad enough to be like a purgatory. Yeah. So I gave it a blessing.
Okay.
But surprisingly enough, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm ready for the storyline about Wonder Woman's brother. Bring on something more interesting for crying out loud.
I'm getting there too. I don't know. This is kind of a filler story,
right?
So
and it feels like it. It's a problem. So.
I'm at a blessing too. I know, Ariel. What are you at?
I'll be nice and give it a purgatory.
Okay, I figured. Okay, cool. So we will move things on then.
Can I say one thing? I don't really like how manly Etta Candy's portrayed. Like in the Roku run, she still wears skirts. I mean, just because she has a mohawk, she's still a woman.
Yeah. They really
looks like a man.
Yeah, they really kind of enhanced a stereotype for her. Let's just put it that way. And
it's okay to be. I don't know.
I know what you mean. All right, cool. We will move things on to our next book of the week, and that is Harley Quinn number 27.
This is fantastic.
That's my favorite book of the week. So Harley's just hanging out, beating the living crap out of her opponents in roller derby when everyone from Coney Island rushes in and tells her that they're all going to lose their homes and workplaces and stuff because Cobblepot is opening a casino in Coney Island. So Harley decides to go meet with Cobblepot at a seafood restaurant. Of course, he's having seafood. And when he surprisingly isn't cooperative with her, she uses the lobster to threaten his manhood. Then we cut to a scene where Cobblepot is like holding this town hall meeting straight out of like Parks and Rec, where he's trying to convince the residents of Coney Island that this new Coney Island thing is a good idea. But this book is just full of surprises because they don't want to do this. They don't want to give up their homes. They don't want to give up their workplaces, stuff like that. So Harley tries to beat him up again, but not if Cobblepot's giant twin mutant penguins have anything to say about it. So now these giant mutant penguins are just running all over Coney Island, screwing everyone's life up, just destroying stuff, and it's fantastic.
Giant mutant steroid penguins.
Yeah, it's great. So Harley pulls out the big guns and gets Mr. J to come in and threaten Cobblepot, at which points, of course, he backs down. But they come to find out this wasn't Mr. J. It was Glory Hog and his holographic projector.
You mean Mr. J?
Yeah, Mr. J. Yeah. So then, and my favorite part of the book was probably the best fourth wall break I've ever read in comics at the very end, where Harley Quinn is like, why are they writing this stuff about me? This doesn't seem like anything I would do. And she actually calls the writer of the book, who is just chilling on a beach drinking Mai Tais.
Yeah.
And they're just like, they're talking about sales and DC Entertainment and stuff. It's so good, man. It's just everything I think comics should be in this book. It's so fun and fantastic. And I don't know. This to me, this was a salvation. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I give it a holy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not quite salvation because it's so outlandish in a good way, but I struggle with the continuity in this and it's so good, but is it really part of the rest of the DC universe?
I don't.
So that's why I go holy and not.
Well, she mentions on here how'd that villain issue work for you?
Right. Yeah.
So.
And I really don't even consider. I'm sure it is part of the in continuity wise, but it's so separate, and I don't like. Joker looks different from how they portrayed him here. I just view this in its own different world, and I always have fun when I read it. I don't grade this. It's kind of like grading on a curve. I grade this on a kind of different scale than I would grade Wonder Woman on. But yeah, I just thought that, I also thought it was funny when she tells the DC Entertainment CEO, she's like, I'm your biggest money maker after Batface. Like, it's just so straightforward and like kind of blunt and stuff. So I had a really good time.
I would love when she was like, don't tell the hookers, they would make more money if the casino was open.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Those ragged hookers they were showing that. Some of those look rough.
Yeah, totally. So, all right, cool. Well, we'll move things on then to Supergirl Annual #1. Every annual is always #1. I don't know why they don't number these things, but anyway.
Supergirl Annual #1. Supergirl crashes and burns as she desperately tries to save the city from Solomon Grundy. Little does she know the Fatal Five have devised an Ocean's 11 plan to take down Supergirl, including her reputation. They created an all-powerful superhero named Indigo who doesn't have silly emotions to save the city in replacement of Supergirl. Also, with some savvy tech and even savvier wit, Selena and Mongol,
yeah.
are able to release a video of Kara talking to his still alive evil cyborg dad. The citizens get upset that she would dare keep him alive and promise to help him after he tried killing all of them, which is kind of understandable. And like fair weather fans, they turn their back on Supergirl when she's at her lowest. Kara heads to a secret base to try and have her powers fixed. A base protected by Laron, the Wolfman. I was really excited to see him back.
Yeah.
He's a contingency plan since the main DEO base has been overtaken by Emerald Empress. Speaking of her, we finally find out why she's in a vendetta against Supergirl. A vision came to the Eye of Ekron of her own remaining family, her dad, who is tragically killed by Supergirl in the future. So of course the only reasonable response is to kill Supergirl in the past. Well, things are looking up, as Dr. Viteras is able to stop Supergirl's power from getting any more powerful. She can't reverse what she has done, but at least it won't get any worse. With no more threat of blowing up, Supergirl heads back to National City to save it once again. There, Kara runs into her Earth mom and dad, and together they try to take back the Blade. And I'm guessing the Blade is at DEO base.
Right.
Kara comes face to face with the Empress, who gloats in her glory and shows Kara what her final knife of payback will be: to kill her father. This is a great read. I really enjoyed it.
Yep.
It was really fast, which I always appreciate.
Yeah.
I really liked the
Especially
Fatal Five.
for a 40-page book, too.
Yeah, I actually went by pretty fast. The Fatal Five are awesome.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I would love to see more of them. Like, Selena is so cool. I really liked her conversation.
With Kat?
Yeah, with Katniss.
Yeah.
Katniss. Oh my God. Because Kat is like, she doesn't even care. She's like, I've faced worse people than you. And Selena's like, I'm a freaking sorceress.
Yeah.
Like, be scared of me. It was just great.
Yeah, I loved it too. The storyline has become one of my quick favorites. Just a lot in part to this Legion of Doom that Supergirl got, and like you were saying, they picked a great characters to be her villains. So and like I said last time too, if you haven't seen it yet, and if any listeners have liked the storyline, rent the 1984 Supergirl movie starring Helen Slater and Faye Dunaway, because Helen Slater's Supergirl and Faye Dunaway's Selena.
Okay, cool.
It's super campy, super 80s,
Yeah.
but I still loved it. I mean, it's been years since I've seen it, but this makes me want to go rewatch it again.
That's awesome. That sounds like fun. Cool. So what would you... I didn't read this one. Unfortunately, I didn't get to it. What would you rate it, though?
I would rate it a holy.
Cool.
Yep, and I rated it wholly also.
Awesome. Good deal. So check that one out if you're into Supergirl, or even if you're not, just give it a shot. So we'll move things on to our final book of the week, and that is Cyborg number 16.
This is the Singularity Aftermath. Metal versus metal. Metal, M-E-T-A-L versus M-E-T-T-L-E. Get it? Metal. Okay. Trapped in an alternate universe, Cyborg's friend Exy has been infected with the OTAC virus, which stands for Omniscient Transformational Advanced Cell Virus. And the other Cyborg, the one that actually belongs in this reality, is holding the cure. They must come to him if they want the cure, and it doesn't take an artificial intelligence to know that it's a trap. We found out back in Cyborg number 11, the cyborg of our universe ripped off the arm of the cyborg of this universe while traveling through a boom tube. Back then, he thought it was just another one of his nightmares. And to add to the cross-dimensional confusion, the anomaly from our universe escaped custody and met up with the anomaly from this universe. Talk about double trouble. Meanwhile, Cyborg battles Cyborg, but it's a stalemate as each is as strong as the other. Cyborg then thinks back to his hallucinations and the lessons taught during his blackouts. Think outside the box keeps coming to him. Cyborg realizes this is a digital landscape, maybe even a digital universe. Once he understood this, he was able to hack the code and manipulate the environment to his needs, including the ability to levitate, throw, and even shrink the alternate universe Cyborg. As Cyborg takes this new digiverse, he realizes it's shaped like a giant mother box, think outside the box, which serves as a beacon to lure Cyborg to their dimension. As an outsider, he can change the code and stop the virus from destroying that world. Cut back to the anomalies. They have joined forces to take down their common enemy, Cyborg, and they plan to use the captured variant as bait.
It's a freaking Matrix.
Yep, it pretty much is. Next, Mecha Human. Battle to the death.
I was waiting for Morpheus to show up and like, which pill do you want to take?
You're right. Some slow motion bullet dodging.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, for me, I guess, God, this book is so tough. As a computer student and stuff like that, I always get a kick out of the tech aspect they add to this, and I think that's good for Cyborg's character because that is a very updated superhero, in my opinion, one that's connected to computers and things like that. But still, it just seems, I don't know, that I'm back to this, there are no consequences in the real world because he's trapped in this alternate universe type thing.
Yeah.
And I just dislike, again, the fact that we see Variant in one panel and she's the damsel in distress that's used as bait to get the boys to come. And, I think they could, have added a stronger female character to the Cyborg cast. But despite all that, the pieces of the whole puzzle of the Cyborg book started to come together in this. And a lot of the past issues made more sense by reading this finally. And so it squeaks by with a blessing from me.
Okay, cool. How about you, Ariel?
I actually enjoyed this one, and I haven't said that for a while. There is 3 moments, and I can't remember the other 2, but one where, like, I actually felt a little less disconnected to Cyborg. There was one where he was like, at least in this reality, there's a Krypton still intact.
Right, he said something about Superman, and Beast Boy was like, who's Superman?
Yeah.
He's like, okay, well, we know there's no Kryptonians here.
And it was just like, I really want his human side fleshed out. There's just such a disconnect with liking him. And I get that they want him robotic and it's supposed to be like that. But thinking of Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go, the good one before it.
I like Teen Titans Go.
I do, but a lot of people don't, but I get a kick out of it. I'm not saying it's better than Teen
It's very
Titans,
cartoony.
It's completely different and enjoyable in its own way.
Yeah,
The
same here.
first real Teen Titans cartoon, he was really likable. He's really funny. Like, he's still young. Like, I think we forget that he's a young man. Like, what, probably 18, 19, technically?
That's what I kind of assume.
And I just think of 18-year-old boys, and I would like to see like more of that fun rowdiness in him. And he was a football player; he was a jock,
right?
And like, something horrible happened to him, but there's like moments where that personality comes out. And I'm like, yes, grab onto that and let's go for a ride. But I really did like it. This arc has been what issues is 16? This arc has been like 16 issues long. Much. So fine, I want it wrapped up and I want something new. But I give it a blessing.
Cool. All right, good deal. On this one, I did not get to as well. It's another one that I'm kind of one to start from where I left off, which I think I left off at like issue 6, so I'm getting there. But all right, cool. That's all we got for you guys on this show this week. As always, mail into us. We'd love to receive your mail. If you want to send any constructive feedback or comments or anything like that, that can be done at nerdchurchradio@gmail.com. If you want to give us an iTunes review, we would very much appreciate that. That is, Nerd Church Radio on iTunes. If you want to leave us a voicemail, you can do so at area code 641-715-3900, extension number 345703. And then join us on the post show after this. We're going to do a really quick post show because we all got places to be, but we're going to get on and just talk a little bit about news for DC Comics and DC movies. We're going to talk a little bit about what we think of Elseworlds movies and maybe some comics that we'd like to see pop up in an Elseworlds movie. And then there's some news for Doomsday Clock that we're going to go over on the post show. So join us there, patreon.com/nerdchurchradio. And if you want to find me anywhere, I am now on Twitter at Hey Benzilla. That's HEY Benzilla. Where can we find you, Noah?
You can catch me on most social media sites at Noah O'Toole.
Ariel's can't hold it together for my Twitter handle right now.
I'm Ariel Go on Twitter.
Okay, good deal. All right, well, that's all we got for you guys this week, and we will see you on the post show.
Later.
Be good to each other.